Everybody, welcome back to our channel. Taylor Parnell here, and I'm so excited for today's video because today we're going to be getting into easy beginner e-collar training tips for you guys. So if you're excited for today's video, like usual, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel down below. All those bell notifications are turned on so that you never miss a video with us. Let's get into today's video. So now that you're a proud owner of a new e-collar, let's go ahead and break it out. Let's get your remote out. Go ahead and get your actual collar out and put it on your dog. Now I know sometimes these little things can be a little intimidating for us, but no worries. I'm gonna give you some simple steps so that you can be sure to have the confidence and get the best experience out of your e-collar. So first and foremost, let's go back to the basics like usual. I want you guys to have your dog near you and ask them to do the certain command that you want them to do. Let's say if you ask your dog to sit and your dog doesn't know how to sit without a treat, I think you guys need to step a few moments back, right? Because what's super important here is if you ask your dog to sit and he doesn't fully understand the concept of what you're asking them, it's going to be much harder to add a stimulation on top of that and to expect them to understand. That's just going to be too much pressure on your dog. So I highly recommend for those easy, simple steps, especially for you beginners out there, make sure your dog knows the command without using a treat. Make sure your dog knows that command front and back, back and forward, all the ways and directions that you can go before putting that stimulation on. The stimulation is just going to be an encouragement of your command. It's going to make sure that your dog understands what you're asking. Let's keep going with these steps, you guys. So when you're starting, you guys, I want you to make sure that you have a leash, okay? It's extremely important when you're starting to work with the e-collar, and you're not going to be using the e-collar as the attachment for the leash. You always want to have a separate collar on there with your e-collar because, again, what we're doing with our dog is we're teaching them what we are asking for the e-collar. We're being repetitive with those commands that we already use. And through the experience, we're going to be able to have more understanding if our dog knows what we're asking for them. And as we start to use the e-collar more and more, we'll hopefully have that eventual freedom to release them off of this actual leash and be able to still get the commands from them. So when you're starting, you guys, I want you to make sure that you have a leash, okay? It's extremely important when you're starting to work with the e-collar, and you're not going to be using the e-collar as the attachment for the leash. You always want to have a separate collar on there with your e-collar because, again, what we're doing with our dog is we're teaching them what we are asking for the e-collar. We're being repetitive with those commands that we already use. And through the experience, we're going to be able to have more understanding if our dog knows what we're asking for them. And as we start to use the e-collar more and more, we'll hopefully have that eventual freedom to release them off of this actual leash and be able to still get the commands from them. Remember, you guys, we want to make sure that our dogs are understanding those simple commands as far as recall, stationary behavior, place behavior. Those are going to be super, super important to make sure that we know that our dogs are going to be listening to our commands, especially on the e-collar. Another important thing I want you guys to realize is familiarize yourself with the actual device. Get your hands on that remote. Start to play with those little buttons here. Turn and off the switch, on and off, kind of mix around. Put the collar on your dog. See how your dog responds to the collar when you're asking them those different commands. And through this experience, you're going to be able to see what their challenge is, how much more practice they're going to need, how much they're understanding the actual concept. And then as you grow, like we've talked about before, you can add those different distractions to be able to better understand where your dog is going to need more work versus less work. So make sure you get that collar on, and let's go get into how to properly fit it. So last but not least, you guys, I want to make sure that that collar is fitting your dog properly. So make sure the collar is actually snug on the dog's neck. It shouldn't be moving around freely. Those two prongs should be touching or in contact with your dog's skin. So go ahead and check in there. Make sure that it's contacting your dog's skin. It's in between the fur. It's fitted properly before you go in. So So these are those 4 simple steps I want you guys to go over. Again, to be able to have that communication, the best experience with this device, you're gonna need those different steps to be able to have the best outcome. So thank you again, you guys, for tuning into today's video. We appreciate having you all here. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and comment down below because we love to be here for you all, and we'll see you all on the very next video. Bye.